Hello and welcome back to my SDL slash OpenGL tutorials, and this is the second one in the series. Today we are going to load images and turn them into textures. So what you're going to start off with is we're going to add some new things in the properties. So we're going to go into projects build options, and we're going to go into linker settings, and what you want to add is minus L OpenGL32, and I think that's it actually, but I'm adding, and add LGL glue 32. And after you do that, that's all you need to do there. So now we're going to add some more code. So first we need to include the headers from the SDL OpenGL.h. So add that one. And we want to move around a few variables and delete some things. So first, we are going to, no wait, we don't need to move anything around, never mind. Right here, the surface, we're going to change that to image, and we're basically going to remove all of this right there. So first we have to set up the window for OpenGL. So add this flag right here, SDL underscore window underscore OpenGL. That doesn't say window, that says WebDO. Let me fix that. So, and we're just gonna edit the title a little bit to make sure it's kind of different. So now we gotta also set up the renderer, or the context more like. So SDL GL context, context. Add this right under the window variable. Context. There you go. And what else? We're going to now load the image. So image equals SDL load BMP. So we're going to be loading only bitmaps here because SDL only has support for bitmaps. There's a image library called SDL image, and we'll be using that the next tutorial. So, but for right now, we are going to be using a BMP file, which you can also download from my website, or you can just make your own. But it has to be a certain size of 128 by 128, just because that's how it works. It has to be a power of 2. I do think that's only for OpenGL ES though, but we're working with regular OpenGL. But yes, so we're gonna load the BMP, and it's called image.bmp. And now we're also going to create the context. So context equals SDL underscore GL underscore create. That's create context window. So that basically creates the context in which we can call back to later from the window. And we're also just going to do a little check to see if image is equal to null. Then we print an error into the console. So now we start working with actual OpenGL. So right now we're going to start with one of the more important lines that I always seem to forget. GL enable GL texture 2D. And so that enables textures, kind of self-explanatory. So we're going to start loading a texture from the, whoa, how did I get down there? Loading a texture from the image we just loaded. So GL uint texture and GL gen textures. And what that does is it allocates some space or something for the texture, so when we add it later. Now we're going to GL bind texture, and this basically says that we're kind of pointing towards which texture we're going to be using, which is that variable texture. And now I'm binding it, so texture. And now GL text parameter, and of course again GL texture 2D, GL, wow, my spelling is very off, GL texture min filter, GL nearest. So that for the filter, we're setting it to nearest neighbor. I'm going to do the same thing, so I just copy and paste that there, and this little part right there, that should be mag. So minify and magnify, I'm guessing. And now GL text image 2D, which copies over everything from that image file to our texture. So texture 2D 0 image format and bytes per pixel image to W H O GL RGB GL unsigned byte and image pixels. So that one is very long, and I'll kind of explain what that does. So we have GL texture 2D. It says, oh, it's a 2D texture. 0, I don't know. Image format bytes per pixel. That's so when we put in the pixels, it tells how many of the bytes are for one pixel. Because if we did 4, it would take 4 bytes, which one of them would belong to the next pixel. So say if it's like bytes per pixel was 3, we only want to grab 3 of one pixel instead of 4, which would be 3 of one pixel but 1 of another. So we don't want that. So you want it to be the one that it says it is. The width and height, kind of self-explanatory. It's the width and height of the image, puts it in there. GL RGB, that's the one you're kind of converting it to. We're going to keep it at RGB because the bitmap doesn't do RGBA or RGB alpha. And unsigned byte because it's in unsigned byte mode. And with the pixels of the image, it's just copying it over. And if you really run it, it's not going to do much at the moment because we also have to add some more lines here at the bottom. So we're going to GL free surface. So we unload the memory of that image, and SDL GL delete context. So we're also freeing the memory from the context we created. So yeah, now if we run this, I think we'd see we have a problem here. Oh, GL text parameter. It's supposed to be text parameter I. My mistake. So now if we run it, it will show a blank window for 5 seconds, but nothing else. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to go to drawing the image and how we do it. So right now we're going to put this in orthographic view, which is 2D basically. Is it orthogonal or orthographic? I call it orthographic. I'm not exactly sure. So right here we have the left and right, bottom, top, Z near, and Z far, I believe. So if you want this to be 2D with the top left being the origin, use these with 640 and 480 being your width and height. This is for basically the vanishing point when you have a 3D anything, the Z of it, when it starts to disappear on each side. So now we're going to clear the screen, so with GL clear color buffer bit. So yeah, it clears the colors. It's not very difficult. GL clear color. Actually, that goes before GL clear. No, wait, goes after. Yes, and 1.0f, or just 1, and then that, and 1. So that's going to create a red background, I believe. So if we do a test right now, I think, no, it didn't. So if this was just closed, thank you. Making sure my code is correct at the moment. We have position if undefined. Creates a window. Alright, so if we run it again, I think, no, it didn't. Well, we're just gonna wait for that to close. There it goes. We forgot something up here. We have to SDL GL set attribute SDL GL double buffer 1. Oh wait, it's supposed to be 1. So that sets it so we can double buffer. I believe it should work at the moment now. No? Okay, well, we'll just move on, come back to it in a second. And now we're going to draw the actual rectangle and attach the texture to it. So color 3F 1 1 1 for the color whites. We're going to GL bind texture again, so it kind of knows which texture we should be using. And we're also going to put in texture again, our favorite, and we're going to do GL begin. That's not begin, I cannot spell. Begin GL quads, quad, rectangle, square. That's basically what we're going to be using as the shape. We're going to do GL text chord 2F lowercase and 0 0. So that's our beginning point of our texture. We're going to copy and paste this 3 times. Sorry, and this one is going to be changed to 1. This will be changed to 1 1 1. So those are texture coordinates, but that we're not done yet, because if we run it, nothing will happen. We'll do vertex 3F, and we're gonna match it with the coordinates. So 1 1 0. So X, Y, and Z. This one being Z, we're gonna keep Z at 0 all times. So we're gonna set this one to 1. If we want the width to be 128, we're gonna set that to 128. And 128 by 128, see 1 1 128. This one will be 0 128. And oh, that's what we forgot. So SDL GL swap window, and that way it updates all your changes that you made up here to the window. So if we run it, we should see this guy right there. That's the guy that we're looking for. So it worked. And if we wanted to change that to red, see, the clear color needs to be before clear, so it knows what to do. So if we run it again, it would be red this time. Yes. So that's my tutorial. I'd like to thank you for watching. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, maybe even a favorite, because if you like this video. Alright, I'll see you next time.